What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Force Strategy Gaming and some more StarCraft 2 commentary. Today we'll be taking a look at a series between Stephano and ObsidiaN. We've got Stephano spawning over here in the lower right-hand position of Tal'Darim as our pink Zerg player. And then over here in the upper right-hand corner, we've got ObsidiaN, the blue Protoss player. Again, that is on Tal'Darim Altar. This is game number 1 here between ObsidiaN and Stephano. And I'm excited to get things underway. As we can see, Stephano now sending his Overlord over into the lower left-hand spawn location. He will, of course, realize that that is not where his opponent ObsidiaN is. I am not 100% certain, but I do believe that this series is coming from the IPL. But again, I am not absolutely certain of that. And actually, people have asked me in the past, basically, well, 2 things. Where do you get your games, and why don't you give a little backstory to the games beforehand? Well, these games are pulled off of a general replay site. There's SC2 Rep, that's a general replay site. Also, the Gosu Gamer site, they typically will post up replays as well. But basically, you just go online, type in StarCraft 2 replays, and there are several pretty popular sites where a lot of the casters pull most of their replays from. It's either that, or you get replays directly from players. That certainly happens as well. We can see over here actually getting a Forge fast expand from ObsidiaN. But basically, the point is that these websites don't give a backstory to the replays. So I just see, you know, a best of 5 between player A and B, and I cast it, and that's it. I don't necessarily know where these games come from, when they took place, stuff like that. Typically they are certainly recent, but besides that I don't really have much other information, and that is exactly why I don't give you much of a backstory, just because that information isn't there for me. Alright, well, let's go ahead and get into the game. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a little explanation as to what was going on. Very sneaky move there by Stephano, actually bypassing the probe there of ObsidiaN, allowing him to get down that expansion much earlier than he would otherwise were ObsidiaN's probe having that opportunity to actually harass down there. Now, as we can see, again, ObsidiaN is going Forge fast expand. That Forge is down. He will be going Nexus after that, and then we'll be seeing a cannon and a gateway up here. So there's the Nexus, and we're going to, of course, expect that next 2 step to come up. He will be finishing off this wall off, either going for a complete wall off or leaving a space. If he goes for that complete wall off, that, of course, is going to force him to be forced to actually break down a building as he decides to leave his base. But he may leave a space and just hold a Zealot on hold position there. That's certainly another option that he does have. Stephano now up with that spawning pool. Extractor coming out. He's got 2 Zerglings now making his way across the map. One going to the right to search for the probe, and actually there it is in hot pursuit right now as the probe tries to make its way around. The other one is heading due northwest into the upper right-hand spawn location, and that, of course, will allow him to get some scouting intel. And there he is at the tower spotting the probe. Will allow him to engage from that side and do a little bit of damage. The other Zergling is, in fact, now headed back home. We've got 1 queen working over here to that natural expansion. The second queen just about to pop outside of the main there. And taking a look back here in ObsidiaN's base, we can see he has gone for that wall off. That is not the full wall off, though. There is still, in fact, a space available, so he is going to be able to fill up that space. You can see right there with the Zealot as that probe passes through. There is just enough room for that single unit to sit over there. Stephano now working up the larva injection there at both his main and his natural. At some point, I would like to see creep spread going on between these 2 bases. That way he can reinforce and defend much more quickly, as, of course, those offensive units do get that speed boost on creep. And the probe scout does get denied. He checks that expansion, but he already knew about that, so didn't really catch much more intel other than that. Second scout over here, actually, for ObsidiaN, hiding in the right-hand corner. So he should be kind of chilling out there for just a few minutes and then moving in with some scouting once he feels like it is the proper timing so that he can try to get some intel. Of course, the things he is looking for, he wants to know if there's a Roach Warren, a Baneling Nest, although that's not as typical. Wants to also know if there's a fast layer. Wants to check the number of extractors, how many gas his opponent does have, and that's going to, of course, give him a good indication as to what he's up against. Specifically speaking right here, as you can see, Stephano is now planning to move into his 3rd expansion. So if we did see ObsidiaN move in and scout that there really weren't a lot of, you can see right now only 2 extractors at the moment. Were he to scout that out, that may tip him off that, hey, going so mineral heavy, there's likely to be another expansion elsewhere, and that would allow him to actually scout for such said expansion. Zerglings moving up, they were able to scout that front wall, but nothing besides that. ObsidiaN inside of the main, what has he got working on? Well, nothing actually at the moment. He's got the level 1 weapons upgrade coming through, and also just working out to get another Zealot, but besides that, that is pretty much it. And Stephano just kind of dancing around with those Zerglings, not actually losing any of those yet, I believe. We've got 1 loss. That looks like a probe that was lost there for ObsidiaN. ObsidiaN's still over here with that probe as well, so we'll see that come into play at some point in the future. And now, is he working up to get those extra extractors? No, not yet. He is, of course, needing to save up those minerals before he starts kind of wasting guys mining gas to make sure that he's got enough to actually try to get some saturation down at this third. That is certainly going to be important if he wants to make sure that he does have a strong economy. And look at that, already rallied over there for those next drones that pop to head on over to that mineral field that is at that third base, or that second expansion. I had a fan actually send me a message the other day being like, hey, you keep calling this the third expansion when it's actually only the second expansion in the third base. And I realize that I make that mistake every now and then. Sometimes I just misspeak. Luckily, the world will not end, but I do, of course, try to make sure that I correct myself there. We can see very gateway heavy right now, and Obsidian will, in fact, be coming out with a, what is this, a 7-gate push? Yes, it is. 7 gateways working their way on through right now, and he has got, ooh, another one down there. Is that going to be even more? That is 8 gateways. He's going out with an 8-gate push. There's that pylon getting dropped over here as he prepares to make that push. This is going to start to look really scary for Stephano. I'm not sure that he really... Oh, he is spotting these gateways, so he at least knows what he's up against at the moment. He's also coming out with a spore crawler just in case he is dealing with some DT, even to try to defend himself again. I don't even know where that spore crawler is. Oh, there it is. Spore crawler sitting over here just to get some cloak detection. Maybe if an observer moves on by, wants to make sure he can take that out. So a big push coming right now from ObsidiaN. We'll see if Stephano is able to defend himself. He has stopped droning up and is starting to work right now on his units to make sure he can defend. We got 10 Zerglings, 3 Roaches about to pop, already in play with 7 Roaches and 12 Zerglings about to finish as well as Glide Reconstitution and the missile level attack 1. He just needs to buy himself a little bit more time, and those Roaches are going to be a lot more effective. So hopefully he can try to pull on back, wait till he's got a good opportunity. He needs to be worried about force fields though, and there we go, a couple force fields going down. However, those Speedlings able to catch right up. Oh no, and ObsidiaN getting surrounded by those Speedlings. Now his Zealots are starting to go to town on those Roaches and Zerglings, but that was a major problem when those Speedlings catch up to his units. That's not exactly what he wanted to happen, and the upgrade is just about finished here for Stephano. He's got 7 Roaches coming out and 32 Zerglings, so this is not over yet. ObsidiaN is doing a fair amount of damage, but there are about to be a lot more Zerg units on the board here for Stephano, getting surrounded with those Zealots with those drones. A couple of Zerglings pushing in from that third base over there, moving up the backside. Roaches trying to buy themselves some time until reinforcements come, and then all engaged together. And there we go, a couple of drones moving down, trying to help here, defend against this push. But ObsidiaN looking to be very strong right now. He's doing quite a bit of damage. Stephano is behind in the terms of resources lost, and he has also lost a few of his workers as well. Not a ton, but still, this push is coming non-stop. You're going to be seeing more and more warp-ins here from ObsidiaN, and this is getting very scary for Stephano. He is forced to pull off the line there with those drones, trying to buy some time and save as many of them as possible as more reinforcements come, but this is really not looking good at all for Stephano. And as the Protoss numbers get larger and larger, this is getting really, really scary right now for our buddy Stephano. Moving up with some Speedlings and Roaches, again, trying to do what he can. We're seeing nothing but Zealots and Stalkers right now. We've got a single sentry in there, but that is it. And again, he's trying to continue to pound away at what Stephano has. Now, Stephano keeps reinforcing, and with some good micro, he's actually increasing his survivability here. He's living a little bit longer than actually expected, continuing to stay in this game, but ObsidiaN is still doing more and more damage. Zerglings moving on the backside, trying to do some damage over there. Roaches able to micro away, and all of a sudden, ObsidiaN's forces keep getting smaller. 28 Zerglings on the way out. ObsidiaN is keeping this up. He's got a ton of forces up over here, and that is going to take out Stephano's expansion, finally focusing on grabbing that down, stopping any more larva production from coming out there, and hurting Stephano in terms of his ability to defend against this any further. We're seeing mass Stalkers at the moment here for ObsidiaN as he continues to try to work through Stephano's forces. Stephano again has lost this expansion, but he is not giving up yet, engaging again with those Speedlings. Few Roaches coming at it as well, but there are so many Stalkers, and even as he tries to work through those front lines there, he just does not have enough, and the Stalker count still so high, and Stephano saying well played and leaving the game. We saw a very strong 8-gate push here from ObsidiaN this game, and try as he might, Stephano was not able to defend against it. ObsidiaN was just absolutely relentless, continuously warping in units, and Stephano was able to fight in waves, bringing a few units here and a few units there. But even though he was buying himself time, he was also thinning up his numbers and not ever having that overwhelming force that he needed to actually take ObsidiaN's forces out. And eventually that led to him losing his natural expansion and the GG. Alright guys, thank you for watching. That was game number 1 here between ObsidiaN and Stephano. Moving on to game 2 in just a moment. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. Keep watching and keep owning.